Thug breaks into home occupied by children, doesn't get past door. An armed robber forced his way into a residence that was occupied by several children. Despite successfully breaking into the home, the overconfident thug wouldn't even make it past the entryway. Home is meant to be a shelter of comfort and security. However, in the event of an unexpected invasion, it can easily become the place where its occupants are most vulnerable. Fortunately, one Ohio family was well prepared for such an occasion and Devin Brackett tried to rob them. When the would-be burglar spotted a quaint residence in Toledo on the 200 block of Dhar, Brackett thought the home was the perfect pick for a late-night robbery. Just before 1 a.m., he grabbed his firearm and set out to ransack the place. What he didn't know was that the abode wasn't quite as defenseless as he had hoped. WTVG-TV reports that the suspected armed robber, identified by Toledo police as Devin Brackett, crept up to the front door and attempted to force his way into the residence. After some effort, he reportedly made it through the entrance and proceeded to head inside, where the media report that several children were residing. No sooner had the burglar stepped inside than he was met with several armed and ready residents. W2LTV reports that the man was immediately shot multiple times by several occupants, including one female resident. A male resident was also listed as one of those involved in the shooting, although it's unclear whether this was referring to one of the children in the home. The would-be burglar sustained multiple rounds, forcing him back outside the residence. He then stumbled out to the front lawn and fell onto the grass. He was later found by medics who performed life-saving procedures in the ambulance while rushing him to the hospital for emergency medical treatment. Brackett was listed in critical condition but did have a pulse. Fortunately, no one else in the home was injured. The woman who discharged one of the firearms was taken into police custody for questioning as standard protocol before being released. Police didn't confirm whether anyone else was questioned or if the male resident involved is a minor. Police investigated the incident, but it looks as if it's an open and closed case in which an armed robber broke into a home and was met by a family legally and reasonably defending their property and their lives. The incident is a perfect example of how firearms save the lives of countless citizens. Without such a defense, this family would be at the mercy of the armed burglar. Not only would they have undoubtedly lost their property, but they also may have lost their lives. At a time when the police are being restricted, it is crucial for citizens to properly protect themselves. Now more than ever, we must rely on our own means of defense to ward off those who would seek to do us harm. Of course, the best hope we have of defending our families is through proper firearm training. This family is alive and unharmed because they were able to utilize these weapons. Even though the intruder was armed himself, they had the upper hand due to their ownership of firearms. Ironically, the only ones who wish these civilians were unarmed and defenseless against this dangerous thug are criminals themselves and opponents of the Second Amendment.
Thank you for watching this fantastic story. Please tap one of the 2 videos on your screen for another amazing wonder stories.